Hope you guys had a great weekend. In this video, let's talk about two stocks. We have PayPal and XYZ, known as Block, Squarespace, and Cash App. So let's get started here with PayPal. Both of these stocks have a very similar setup, and this is a pattern and setup that we have seen many times. For example, Coinbase, we typically hit a peak, then we pull back very hard. We usually crash like 70-80%. For Coinbase it was 90%. Then we bottom out, we trade sideways, and this is going to be the time to buy in at these levels when it is trading at those levels. We have stocks like Palantir. We have made newsletters and videos on these setups. We have Roblox. So now again, we have stocks like PayPal that are setting up just like that. And now is the time where I am buying and loading up in shares for both PayPal and XYZ. So taking a look at PayPal here, we hit a peak at 2021. So this was 4 years ago. And then pretty much we pulled back. We crashed really hard. We dropped around 80%, and this is really the lowest it has been trading sideways. This is what is called the accumulation phase, when we are trading sideways, and now is the time to sort of accumulate shares, and we can expect gains like 100% to like 300% gains in like a year or 2 years. So that is what we are taking a look at, buying in shares at this level of support. It really reminds me of our previous newsletter we made 3 years ago on buying the dip on like Meta and buying the dip on Google. And if you bought sort of listen to this newsletter, $112, that was literally the bottom for Meta, and we're talking about sort of a solid 673% gain for Google. Also, we were talking about at $90, that's 125%. This is on our newsletter, so make sure to check out our newsletter. I'll be dropping another one tonight, but we are pretty much buying good, amazing companies, blue chip stocks, companies that I use in my day-to-day life, companies that you might use. I use PayPal, I use Cash App. So it's the Warren Buffett strategy, and we are buying at this level of support. Now, if we take a look at like the weekly time frame, we were pretty much trading sideways, but the perfect position and the perfect entry is going to be $53. So if we do pull back, I want to accumulate more and more shares. A move from this level of support to this resistance is going to be already a 67% move. So this is going to be a perfect level of support for PayPal here. Now we can expect, again, 1 year, 2 years, we can expect a solid 100% gain even from this level, especially with the level of growth that we are seeing in PayPal here. So I want to take a look at, let's take a look at the technical, let's take a look at the fundamental analysis right now. So the reason that we sort of pull back here is because 2022, we saw a not so good profitability margin in around 8.94%. So you can see we have been dropping in earnings, and we pretty much bottomed out in 2022, and so far the earnings are coming back here. Now PayPal is doing some amazing stuff that we can expect huge growths in the next year or two. So this was the recent earnings report. We can see 45% pay with Venmo growth and 20% growth on buy now, pay later. They have a really nice marketing strategy of giving huge cash backs. So 20% cash back in Taco Bell. The user is going to get an incentive to use PayPal, and that will make them familiar with the app and how to pay with PayPal. So this strategy is going to bring in users to be familiar with PayPal, so that it becomes a habit for them to just use PayPal instead of some other card or company. Now we can see huge growths. So 45% pay with Venmo, 20% with just Venmo revenue. And then we have 40% growth in the Venmo debit card. So this is a debit card that is being used in college campuses. We are seeing PayPal partnering up with these huge colleges to kind of deploy these debit cards, because especially as a college student, you're using and you're kind of moving around and paying bills, and this is going to be such a convenient way to just pay those small bills and buy food and whatnot. Now we're seeing amazing growth here. 2 million first time PayPal and Venmo debit card users in the US. We're seeing growth in other countries like Germany. We can see the growth here, which I'll go over here in a little bit. But here we can also see some other stuff like agentic AI. They are partnering up with Perplexity, Anthropic, and Salesforce, especially in this AI race. So if, for example, ChatGPT or Perplexity or Anthropic, they're going to be shopping, this agentic AI is going to be doing its shopping, how can we have PayPal do that for you? So that is going to be a very, very important thing. We also have customized ads. So for example, if you see a ad for Nike or Adidas, right under the ad it's gonna say buy with PayPal, so you can just click that button and it'll make it very easier. We also have crypto and stable coin adoption, which is going to be very important. But these are the ways that we are going to see PayPal grow. Okay, these are going to be the growth drivers. It is really important to understand sort of the business aspect here, and then take a look at the technical analysis and see, okay, this is a solid business, and this business is sort of undervalued, and it is sitting at a low, really the lowest it has ever seen. Since we are also seeing earnings go up slowly here, what can we expect from a year or two? What kind of growth we can expect? So the risk to reward here is amazing for PayPal stock. Next, we have XYZ, Block, Squarespace, Cash App. This is another stock that has been doing a revamp and a rebrand, kind of like PayPal. PayPal has a new logo. This whole rebrand is very nice for PayPal, but we can see that this stock is also setting up, and it has been consolidating for a while. And the more we are sort of consolidating for a while, and the more we go, the higher the probability is that we are going to break out, because it has been really a matter of time before it has been trading sideways. It has been trading sideways for a while. That it's going to be a matter of time before it decides to break out. So same setup like Coinbase, Roblox, Palantir, SoFi, all the other stocks that I talked about, and we're expecting the same type of gains like PayPal. Now, this company has been sort of devaluing their shares, so be cautious with that. I think PayPal overall really more take cares of their investors, especially with this presentation, amazing presentation. This company has been sort of adding more shares and devaluing the shareholders. So just be cautious of that. We can take a look at the earnings. So this is the annual earnings, and we can actually see that the annual earnings is actually amazing here. And we can see the growth. The earnings are doing amazing. It's better than 2020 and 2021, both income wise, net income. Take a look, 2.9 billion. 2021 um and 2022, 2022 we were losing money, that is why the stock dropped. 2021 net income 166 million, and net income right now is 2.9 billion. So the earnings are actually doing amazing, and the stock is heavily undervalued. It's just that the company has been devaluing shares, but at this level, uh it is looking really, really good. You can take a look at quarterly earnings, pretty much trading sideways, but the annually is really, really nice. We're seeing amazing growth on Block. So expect a year to 2 years from now, I'm expecting 100% gains, at least 200, 300%, 2 years maybe. Something like we talked about, Meta, and we talked about Google in this newsletter, something like this we can expect. We called Meta at pretty much the bottom 112, and now it's 584%. Google, same thing, pretty much at the bottom, $90. So expect a year to 2 years from now, we can expect those similar gains, and I'll be dropping the newsletter tonight. If you guys did enjoy content like this, make sure to leave a like. It really helps out with the algorithm, and see you guys later.